Greetings, gamers! I'm Shootgabao, and for a while now, I've talked on here about Contrarian Mods, a Pokemon other metagame that I helped to run, and that recently has seen multiple meta developments as a result of the Indigo Disc DLC. For the most part, this meta boils down to one rule. Pokemon are only allowed to use attacks that use their lower attacking stat, so a Pokemon with a higher special attack like Greninja can only use physical attacks like Liquidation and U-Turn. Meanwhile, a Pokemon with higher attack, like Landorus Therian, can only use special moves like Earth Power. However, Pokemon that have the same attack and special attack are handled differently. These Pokemon can choose to go either way, but to keep them limited within the rules of the meta, they have to stick to one side. So for example, Azelf can't use Psychic and U-Turn on the same set. However, Azelf is still a very good Pokemon here, being able to set up with Nasty Plot or have a media power with a Choice Band or Choice Specs, being very threatening until you know which set it is. We aren't just here to talk about Azelf though, as some new Pokemon were introduced to the Indigo Disc DLC that really find their place to shine in Contrarian Mods. Before we get into those though, make sure to check if you're subscribed, since it would really help out the channel. Also, like the video if you enjoy it, and leave a comment about whether you want to see me talk more about Contrarian Mods. And one last thing, the link to the Discord server where the meta is played is in the description below. Now without further ado, let's get into our Contrarian Mods. First up is a strong offensive new addition, that being Minior. Starting off in NU and Gen 7, this mod hasn't seen much high-level play at all. It tries to be Aegislash, but doesn't have the outstanding stats, great typing, or solid moves to do it. Minior's best tool is Shell Smash, which raises its attacking stats and speed by 2 each, while lowering its defenses by 1. This move is notoriously good on Pokemon like Cloyster, but never ends up being particularly good due to a lack of really strong users. In Contrarian Mods, Shell Smash was almost unheard of before Indigo Disc, though there was one powerful Pokemon that made excellent use of it, that being the aforementioned Cloyster. Before Pokemon Home Trot, it would boost up, eat a physical hit after restoring its defenses with a White Herb, or just tank it with a Focus Sash, and use strong moves like Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, and Terra Electric Blast to decimate anything in its way, like the tier strong mods of Slowking, Toedscruel, and Palafin. Luckily, when Pokemon Home rolled around, Slowking Galar was on almost every team and made Cloyster struggle to sweep effectively, and power creep in general has sent it tumbling down the viability rankings. However, Minior has breathed new life into the move, giving it a strong, durable user with an amazing offensive typing. After your White Orb is used up, Acrobatics is a stab, 110 power flying type move that tears through a lot of the tier, and it has rock type moves to beat the popular Moltres. Earthquake is good into Glowking, along with the other two top tiers alongside it that are weak to ground. Minior's main issue is actually getting into core form, since its 60 HP isn't helped much by its 100 defenses in Meteor form, and it has an awful attacking stat of 60 in Meteor as well. Minior has seen solid usage, but counters for it have been discovered, as it's very weak to priority moves such as Darkrai's Sucker Punch and even Lucario's Extreme Speed. However, our next Pokemon doesn't rely so much on its offenses to get things done. Before we get into that though, let me tell you exactly why Galarian Slowking grew to be so powerful in the Contrarian Mods metagame. Before Pokemon Home support dropped for Scarlet and Violet, Slowking was a pretty good mod. It was a decent pivot with Chili Reception, Regenerator, and an alright Water Psychic typing. However, the player base was waiting in anticipation for Galarian Slowking to drop once Home rolled around. Everyone expected him to be an amazing alternative to Slowking, and that just so happened to be true. With a new poison typing and the ability to use Toxic, Slowking and his unmatched Special Bolt quickly rocketed him to the top of the viability rankings for months. As a result of this, Toxic became very prevalent. With the Glowking on nearly every team, usually running Toxic, you usually wanted at least 2 Poison Minions in your team at a time. Often, one of these would be your own Glowking, but throughout the shifts, other mods began to pop up, among them being Galarian Weezing, an excellent defogger, and Lucario, an amazing sweeper that could also switch in on Foul Play for a free boost. However, Glowking's viability was also due to his ability to adapt. Thunderwave began being slotted on teams with Toxic Quagsire or Weezing Galar among other mods, and due to the fact that many Glowkings would try to underspeed opposing Glowking due to their Chili Reception on second, some would slot Taunt and non-minimal speed to prevent the opponent from switching out. But none of these Pokemon are new, so why am I talking about them now? Well, our next 2 Pokemon just so happen to be graded to Glowking, finally bringing it down from its undisputed top 1 spot. Cobalion was never going to be bad in Contrarian Wands, with the same Steel fighting typing as Premier Sweeper Lucario, 90 in both attacking stats, letting it go either way, and a wide selection of moves from Sword Stance and Calm Mind to Stealth Rock and Volt Switch. Paired with legendary Pokemon stats outside that, Cobalion has become a very customizable Pokemon. While Lucario still outclasses it as a physical sweeper, using the extreme speed that Cobalion lacks to great effect, Cobalion has become an amazing defensive pivot and a decent Calm Mind sweeper. Using a bulky set with Stealth Rock and Volt Switch, this Pokemon allows rocks to get up for almost free, and pivot out to something that can take advantage of them, even dealing super effective damage to the 3rd Pokemon in this list. It likes to use Terra Fairy to counteract all the other fighting types in the tier, since this game seems to have more fighting type than Gen 5 OU. Cobalions' biggest issue is a lack of longevity. It can effectively run leftovers because of its quad-resistant stealth rock, but thus its only recovery. It can tank a lot of physical hits, but a lot can stomach its stab combination too, especially the tier's premier special balls. Cobalion is great as utility, being a wonderful defensive pivot with stealth rocks, but it's not broken by any means. Finally, we have one more Pokemon to talk about. Funnily enough, this is a really good counterpart to Cobalion because Tentacruel is an incredible spinner in this current metagame. Since pre-home, its counterpart, Toedscruel, has been a top-tier Pokemon for its rapid spinning capabilities, getting rid of hazards while recovering with Leech Seed and Leftovers, threatening Toxic and Spore despite its awful ability Mycelium Might, and the rather niche ability to underspeed Glowking's Chilly Reception, hitting the incoming Pokemon with the status move. It also had access to Knockoff, letting it be threatened by removing opponents' heavy-duty boosts while spreading its own spikes on the field. However, Toedscruel still has a quad weakness to Ice, and the crippling Mycelium Might ability holding it back. Tentacruel is a Pokemon with a better typing, a decent couple of abilities, and most importantly access to Flip Turn, letting it pivot out to a teammate while taking damage. It still has Toad's amazing special defense, which let it take hits from non-Terra Palafin before it was banned. If you want to learn more about the Palafin ban, that video is also on my channel and will be linked at the end of the video. Tentacruel also fills a decent role as a special defense pivot, though it overlaps a bit with Glowking also being a poison type with Toxic and pivoting. The lack of recovery also hits Tentacruel hard, since being a spinner without recovery isn't great, especially in this meta. Tentacruel is really good against the hazards the tier has always struggled with, since many of the removal options are lackluster at best, but it still doesn't reach the heights of something like Starmie, which would bring reliable spinning with Recover, Flip Turn, and the ability to spread status, or Terapagos with its amazing offense. Tentacruel isn't all bad, and while these new additions may have fallen off a little due to meta adaptations and previous ones being good, they all still have a very prominent place in the new meta, shaping it and being incredibly strong. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more or even play more Contrarian Mons, join the server linked below and subscribe to my channel. I'm planning to do more Contrarian Mons content soon, so stay tuned. If you enjoyed it, like the video as well, and comment below any ideas for Pokemon to do videos on. Also, consider supporting me on Patreon or Ko-fi. Contrarian Mons is a meta that's special to me, and I want more people to play and experience it. For now though, that's all I have for today, so this is Shoot over and out.